Okay, so we're going to see just how this works. I'm not using my normal Prism Live, so we're using OBS at this moment. So let's see if this works out. Hey Joshua, good seeing you in there. And there you are, Joe. I'm not up on CloutHub. I'm only up on YouTube because I don't have the CloutHub plugin here. There's Richard. And hello, Melissa. So, let me see. Okie dokie. There we go. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Hey, Zero. And Robin, good afternoon. Flutterby. Jen and Jeff are in here. Judy. So I just wanted to do a quick little update. This is not using, like I said, this isn't using it's not using my phone. So having so I'll do some. There it is. Don't think that it's not too shabby, I guess. We've got a little chat window that pops up here under the OBS, and the dog back there going crazy with its squeaker toy. So I'm going to toss in, see if I can toss in a text box here real quick. Okay, that's working good there. And we'll put it over here too. Good. So let's put it back over here. Oh, stop. Yeah, we are back. So, been working heavily on the walk. I think I'm going to start, in fact, I know I'm going to start moving from Pennsylvania to Nevada starting tomorrow. So I'll be live streaming along the way for that. Well, thank you, Judy. And Convoy, let's see. Sent me a message. Short comment. So try to catch up here. Hey, Bam Bam. Melissa. Well, Melissa, I certainly hope so. I've talked with a few people over the last couple of days, and the team has, in fact, had conversation with one of the sheriffs in one of the counties we'll be crossing. Up on the website on GreyWolfWalk.com, we now have Nevada covered. 21-day trek across Nevada. And yeah, where did you send the message? Previous video. Okay. Okay. So the yeah, I can't look at that right now, I don't believe, given the fact that I'm live. So in any case, we have got, make sure something is working there. Yeah, it looks like that's working. Okay, so in any case, we've got the 21 days are now posted up. Here, stop. Hey, look, it's somebody bumping, okay? Shh, shh. Stand by. Stop. It's somebody next door. Been here for how long are you now figuring that out? So, in any case, we've got 21 days are now covered. They're up on the website. So far as the start date goes, I'm going to start progressing. Let me bring up the calendar. Abby, stop it. Okay. So today is the 15th of June. I'll start progressing tomorrow, and I should be in Reno around the 20th. So I believe that from the 20th to the 26th will be preparation, and I hope to be... Oh, my goodness. Would you... Hey, stop it. Hey, stop. They're moving something, okay? Come here. Hey, get over here. Just sit right here. Sit. Thank you. Stop that. Let me get back on track there. Hey, leave it alone. Seriously, stop it. So that should set a tentative start date for the walk to be June 27th. So I think we're going to put the dartboard up and say June 27th should be a good start date. A lot of things still have to happen, but it looks like that's the date that we're looking at. And we'll be able to say that we're going to be in the Austin, Nevada area somewhere around June 6th. That's where we're looking at 9 days of walk. So Austin will be our first rally point, because that's pretty much, once we leave Fallon, Nevada, it's pretty much desert all the way across there. So as you can see when you get to the website, it's a trek. I can't look it up right now, Convoy. So all right, so let's see here. Thanks for posting it up there, Joe. I appreciate that. If you wish, Convoy, you can always go and email me over off the website. I just can't answer any questions during my live like that are already asked, because that takes a lot of backing things up in the live software. So I apologize for that, but that's just how, I'd have to put a lot of things on hold, and I don't want to interrupt the live because of that. So let's see here. We have got what appears to be a working OBS, and this is important because we are looking to set up an actual production to my multiple stream channels during the walk. So with respect to support, we still need support. We need volunteers. If you would like to volunteer to do something, we've got volunteers that are just going to be on the phone. They don't even have a proper computer, but they do have email. So we're going to be utilizing volunteers to make calls. Today, some volunteers made some phone calls, spoke to county sheriff along the route, spoke to Chamber of Commerce for our first stop venue. It's our first stopping point. I don't want to really call it a venue. Basically it's a city park. They do have amphitheater. They do have a couple of RV parks nearby. But the structure of this is going to be one of this. The walk participants, there may be participants who only want to walk, only want to walk a short distance per day. I need to turn notifications off on my camera. That's piping. I'm using it as a camera. It's a phone that I'm using as a camera. So the participants may only want to walk a mile or 2 or 5 or 10 a day. So we're going to try and align a bus, like an old school bus or something, or if somebody's got one, to be able to shuttle people to the starting point and then kind of hop along 1 mile increments and collect people as they say, okay, I'm done for this section, and then take them to the stop point for the evening. That kind of thing. I'm going to be looking for people to support us. I mean, seriously. There's lots of restaurants in the towns, like Austin, for instance. That's our first day off point. And then Ely, Nevada will be our second day off point where people can go out, check out Ely, Nevada, check out the sides, go to the swimming pools, whatever the case might be, do some work. Well, the only thing I can say to it, Convoy, is, it's kind of, to me, that's a somewhat of a convoluted question, to be honest with you, because how do you know, how do you have clairvoyance in ahead of time that something isn't going to achieve the goal? You don't. You have a heart filled with, I've got to do something, and you do it. And I'm no spring chicken. Well, we really didn't need to take that message out. I did read it before Ahmad deleted it, but we really didn't need to take that out, guys. It wasn't belligerent. But in any case, the bottom line is you do something because you believe in something. You don't know that it's going to fail. And honestly, I don't believe that it failed. A convoy's mission, and it was always the mission to me, that it is to make people aware of what's happening. It's the same thing I'm doing with my walk. It's an awareness. It's a rise of awareness. Because you're not going to go in, the convoy's task was never to go in and change government. It has never been that from day one, from conception, I mean. So my involvement is because I am an American, and I am a patriot, and I believe in freedom, and freedom, liberties, constitutional rights, and so on. Not everybody believes in that, and honestly, I don't even want to be associated with people that don't believe that we need to fight to get them back. They were never free. Freedom isn't free. A lot of people have lost their lives over that. A lot of veterans lost their lives, gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country, for our country. And that is exactly what it is that I am still continuing to do. I'm not going to stand by and let this thing die. The movement was started by the convoys. It was started by them. Whoops. Shoot. I'm going to have to turn those notifications off. Sorry. It was started. There's been a lot of people that have been trying to tear it down. They've been trying to tear down the movement. And shame on them. You can hypothesize, and you can sit there and say that, hey, look, this was, this group that was paying them, and this group over on this side, or that group on that side was paying people to go and just poo-poo the whole thing. I am not joining the convoy. To me, let me tell you, Lois, there is no more convoy. There's no more convoys except for the movements they represent. I mean, look at it. Even the 1776 doesn't call themselves a convoy. They call themselves a movement. So the movement is the United States. I do not believe that a static area right now, and this is my belief, right, wrong, or indifferent, that sitting in a static area is going to involve more people. Whenever you do that, you need to put it out that you're trying to create a Woodstock kind of thing and get people in. And how do you do that when a media doesn't work with you? Well, that's why I'm walking. I'm going to do my walk, and along the way, we're going to put out cards, not trifold pamphlets, a simple card. If somebody doesn't want the card, we're not going to give it to them. We're going to explain to them. We're going to have individuals that are going to be there. They're going to say, There's going to, we've got the doctors are on board. We've got several individuals that are popping in, sheriffs, um, patriots that are looking to say, hey, look, there is a problem with this country. You may choose not to believe that there's a problem, and that hopefully we can change your understanding of that. Go here and then hand out a card. They can go there, QR code snap that if they wish, or type in the URL and go to the website. And the website will explain it. So that's the goal. The goal is to get more people involved. I don't know what JMO is. That is a good point, however, Convoy. That is an extremely good point. You could go back on any video I have done, any interview that I have done, and I have made it perfectly clear that you cannot have multiple objectives in any movement. Now, we all know there's thousands of things we can all do, that we all want. We want to lock down the borders. We want to get the J6 guys out. We want to do this. We want to do that. We want to stop this. We want to stop that. We can put together a laundry list, and that's all we would do. You have to be focused. You have to be targeting. You have to be specific. The movement, in my mind, is very simple. They are building a building today. Thank you, Blondie. They're building a movement, the government, to control the people by subverting constitutional freedoms. What is that? They're building this building, okay? If you're an architect and you go in and you try and build a building, what do? You start with something known as the foundation, right? So the foundation and the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, so on and so forth, and you're building these floors up above the foundation. You know what that foundation is? That foundation is the emergency, the state of emergency, the proclamation, the last one signed February 18th. Okay, it is the emergency. What do I have on that? Floor 1, mask mandates. Floor 2, vaccine mandates. Floor 3, maybe that has to do with Title 42, and so on. There's a lot of stuff that's actually tied to the state of emergency. So, the goal of all Americans needs to be remove the state of emergency. One objective. The secondary part of that works with it, accountability. And the exposure is more important right now than the accountability. I'll give you an example. In World War II, the accountability of the regime took decades. Some of them died long before they were even known as to where they were. But the thing that was immediate was the exposure to the crimes. There are crimes here. So exposure / accountability is attached to why the hell are you doing this. Okay? State of emergency was never designed to be this type of usage. The bills that were passed in the Senate, 48, 47, in the Senate had specific language to end the state of emergency and verbiage to keep it from ever being used in this manner again. They're going to continue to stack more on. Trust me, here comes monkeypox. Trust me, here comes the next thing, September. It's just going to keep coming. So it's not all about just mandates. It's about what they're doing. They're subverting constitutional freedoms. Do you know that if somebody squashes your Fifth Amendment rights, you cannot even go and hire a constitutional lawyer right now? Constitutional lawyer will tell you, sorry, we're in a state of emergency. So you have to get rid of the state of emergency in order to proceed beyond. In order to proceed in the healing the beginning part of our constitutional healing. You knock that, well, Jim, to answer the question, he invoked it, but it wasn't to be for a long-term response. So yes, he did invoke it, but it's been renewed several times. The last renewal of February 18th has no expiration date on it. So this regime this administration has utilized it more than it's ever been used. A continual and perpetual state of emergency. So it has to end. Verbiage has to be put in there. It was designed on the 1976 rules, designed for like earthquakes and floods and, natural disasters. Might be a couple of weeks, might be a month, might be a couple of months at best. But to be 2.5 years, that is where they're trying to toe the line and saying, oh, the pandemic is not over. It has to continue. Bull. That's where we need to stop it, because they are going to continue to build on that. We need to tear that foundation down before they build more floors. So that's the singular objective that the movement has. Freedoms are tied to that. It is we're losing our freedoms, and people don't even see that we're losing the freedoms. All you have to do. We have got sponsors now within Grey Wolf Walk. We have U.S. Freedom Flyers. They're fighting for the fact that you've got pilots that are still losing their jobs even to this day because they refuse the jab. You've got medical workers that are pretty much cleared out that, they didn't want the jab. So it's still being forced, and you want your job? Get the jab. Wait a minute. We have freedom of choice. We have the 1947 Nuremberg II, which says that you have to provide me informed consent before I put anything in my body. These are things that have to be educated. They have to be educated to the point that said, this is not right. Now, the walk that I'm doing and the bringing in of people, it's a freedom of speech thing. That's like I just said, that we didn't need to delete that one. The only time that I'm looking at getting rid of comments is when they're just blatantly belligerent and absolutely atrocious. Notice I said atrocious and not atrocious. So, freedom of speech. The freedom to be able to fly what flag you want to fly. I won't be flying any of those types of flags. You know which ones I'm talking about. But they should not be taken away from you. If you want to show up and you've got a flag, or you got a t-shirt, or you've got something on, hey, you're an American, you have the First Amendment, you have a right to choose. Wear what you want. As long as it's not offensive in the way of, hey, put some clothes on, that kind of thing. But, I've seen a lot of different attire in this movement. I've seen a lot of people. Look, I have had hug after hug after hug, thousands of hugs since I left Adelanto. And the one that sticks with me the most is when we were sitting in Cuba, Missouri. And I got out of my truck because we were delayed leaving the morning after we spent the night there. And the Highway Patrol wasn't ready for us yet. And I got out of the truck, was taking a little bit of a break before going, kind of walking a bit. Got over to the lawn area there in Cuba. And I see this family coming up. 3 children, a man and a woman, husband and wife. Comes up to me, and the woman says, "Are you a truck driver?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She sticks her hand out. I stick my hand out to shake her hand. And as soon as she touches my hand, it was like she just had an electric shock. And I pulled her in, and I've got her in a hug, and her head on my shoulder, and she is sobbing about how she's afraid for her children. And trying my best to hold it together. I'm really trying my best to hold it together. And she's saying that she's afraid for how her children are going to be raised in this country. And I look over, and her husband is going down. And I shift and I grab him and I pull him in. I've got both of them in a bear hug, and he's sobbing. And I'm looking right straight up. They're on both sides of me. And I'm looking at these 3 children. And I'm thinking, what's going through their head? Have they ever seen their parents grab and hug a stranger and sob in this manner before? Probably not. But you can bet they're going to remember that day for the rest of their lives, and so am I. I told them that I would deliver their messages to D.C., and I delivered their messages to D.C. in the Senate and the congressional hearings that I was in, or the meetings I was in. Everyone knows there's a problem. We have a lot of people out there that think that it's just BS, that we're making this stuff up. We're not making this stuff up. We need to continue to let people know hope is there. Let's give them hope. Those tears weren't tears of hope. They were tears of sorrow. They were tears of mourning what they considered the death of our country. So it's important to let everyone know that's what this movement is about. Getting our constitutional rights back. And we start that by ending the state of emergency. Now, we get halfway across, or I get halfway across the country and they end the state of emergency. We still have the accountability. The movement goes to D.C., we start seeing names come out as to why this was continued, why it was such a prolific abuse of the 1976 Act. Why? And who made it that way? And what are we going to do about it? That's where you start. That's where you start. You end that with that completion. If you get all the way there and you still haven't ended it, there is the 10th Amendment that I'm using across the way to teach people about the states. The true power isn't in D.C. The true power is in the states. The sovereignty of each and every individual state. Bring them to bear. Bring those people. And whether I'm in that state or not, we will be working with individuals that will tell 10 people, who will tell 10 and 10 and 10 and so on in other states to put pressure on their elected officials within their states. Join the USLA. Join the United States Liberty Alliance. Absolutely. And move in on your state capitals. Blow up your elected officials' phones with grievances equal to the state emergencies being utilized. You have local emergencies, you have state emergencies, and you have the federal state of emergency. You take out that federal state of emergency, and everybody down below in the states is going to be going, whoops, my bad. That's the accountability, people. That's what we need to do. We need to make them accountable. We need to stop the state emergencies. We need to stop the city emergencies. I went into a place, and I went into a hotel. I won't name the hotel or the place. Went into it the other day, last week. And there, there's no mask mandates around. But there's like a dozen signs. Must wear a mask to come in. I walked in without one. They have the plexiglass up in this little 4-inch hole to hand you the card through. And everybody's wearing a mask and avoiding you.
Especially when you walk in and you're not wearing a mask. Well, you're going to put a mask on. No, I'm not going to put a mask on. Well, then you'll have to step outside and I'll work through the window with you. I don't need this hotel that bad. Okay, well, let's hurry up. People are so afraid because they've been lied to. They have to be taught that they've been lied to. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing this all the way across the country, 2,718 miles. So we got the first 21 days down. Interestingly enough, 21 days, potentially starting on July 21. I'm sorry, June 21. Anybody can walk, and I think that anybody that wants to join in, anybody that wants to help out, go to GreyWolfWalk.com. That's where all the updates are going to be coming from. I'm going to be putting a blog message out there tonight. If you go into that website and you hit blog, all the current information is going to be shuttled out through the blog. Let me read a few things here. You bet, Michael. It is a very powerful tool. It's been used for centuries. You know what, Convoy? We're not looking to repeal the 1976. That is an important act. No, we're looking to repeal the declaration that they're using that as a foundation of. We want that declaration repealed, not the 1976 Act. The declaration from February 18th, that they're using that act as a basis. End the state of emergency, not the Emergency Act. And that's why I say, if we can get 218 votes right now, because it passed the Senate, the verbiage that Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, and a few other senators had put through, it already passed the Senate. It's stuck in a committee, and Pelosi will not let it out onto the floor for a vote. And the resident has already said he's going to veto it if they did. Fine. Veto it. If we got it through the House, it means we converted some left. Now, just so everybody knows, I'm not left and I'm not right. I'm straight up the middle. I'm a registered bipartisan. Nonpartisan, excuse me. So, there's bad on both sides. But I have conservative values in my heart, in my head, called common sense. When things don't make sense, that's where I start questioning. If you could take 218 votes and run a petition on Pelosi on that bill, it's SJ Res 38, I believe. You move it to the floor past her. She doesn't have the option anymore once the petition is started. She doesn't have the option to say yay or nay, I'm putting it up for a vote. So you get that put up on the floor for a vote. If it passes, and if you get 218 votes to get it up on the floor, you can bet you're going to wind up 218 to the positive. That's going to pass it. It's going to pass it. And then it goes to the resident. The resident's going to turn around and say, nope, 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 veto. Hey, it's me. Veto. Then it's our task to go after the Senate for a reversal. It's going to require kind of a supermajority there. But they're exposed. The administration is exposed because you get both sides. You get the Senate and the House pass something, and the resident says no. You expose it. And then you get more support to put the pressure on the senators to say, time to hey, knock it off. Get over here. Stop it. you get the Senate to overturn the veto. So that's the key. Let's see what we got here. You know, William, the walking isn't changing a darn thing. Yeah, it's probably going to make me a healthier person, probably make a lot of people healthier people. But it is awareness. I will be live streaming the entire time. Come meet me. Come talk to me. Why am I walking? I'm walking to get people to get off their couch and come out and talk. And then have them go out and get more people. Because the idea, it's like I said in the Senate meeting, the truck drivers and the convoys were the tip of the spear needed for battle. They weren't the spear. They're the tip of it. The body and the staff are made up of people. You need to go to battle with a full spear. You do that with people. You make people aware of what it is that they need to do. Because I'll tell you, a lot of people, they just don't know what to do. They're sitting back watching the TV, screaming at their TV, saying, no, you're an idiot. No, this can't happen. I disagree with that. But all the time they're sitting on their couch. That's what this is walking about. That's the walk. Is to get them off their couch and come out and talk to this old man that's walking and talking and giving knowledge. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Come to a weekly rally. Listen to the doctors. Listen to the sheriffs. Listen to other people. That's how you do it. You know, we can agree to disagree, William. That's what's great about the First Amendment. Lois, you're absolutely right. And when it comes to the trucking industry, we're on the verge of another huge issue, which is the DEF fluid, or DEF fluid as it's called. The control isn't in the United States, yet you've got the majority of the trucks run it. When it's no longer available, what do you do? Thank you, Lois. Okay, let me get back down here. There's probably some that I'm missing. Hey, Rev Kelly, welcome on. Thanks, Debbie. I turned 29 last week. In my heart. And the other thing we're going to be doing on this walk, we talked about this morning in our meetings, is we're going to also consider registering people to vote. There's a lot of people that are like, well, what does it matter? Blah, 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 blah. You know, they're going to cheat, blah, blah. You swamp cheats through votes. Everybody needs to vote. This is an election year. And so that's another prime thing that we'll be doing as we're walking is telling people, vote, vote, and when you're done doing that, not all in one year, just vote. You may not see it, William, but a lot of people will join up and will start listening, and it's a grassroots, it's a blooming. Oh my goodness, would you stop? 3 days you haven't done that, but maybe once, and now you've done it all this time. Come here. Hey, get over here. Stop. Stop. Somebody again in the room next door and letting the door slam, and it's knocking her off. So, yeah, it's all about numbers. Everything is about numbers. People, numbers. Get the people out. And the people may not be walking with me. The people may be coming in and having a confluence somewhere along the way. We don't know that. When I woke up this morning, I didn't take any clairvoyancy tablets, so I can't tell you that. Yeah, William, you can be a naysayer, man. This is the last time I'm going to be answering your comments. Even a cheating system can be swamped with truth. And if they manage to still cheat, it becomes more evident at that point. So, vote. It's 2,718, Rev. And it's a proverbial battle, William. What I said was you don't go to battle without a full spear. It's a metaphor.